If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one.
I'm not taking vaccines away from anybody.
Okay, same answer, right? You're just going to deny that when people can't get access, that you're not taking it away. You're putting America's babies' health at risk, America's seniors' health at risk, all Americans' health at risk, and you should resign.
Okay guys, I mentioned this morning how we'd have multiple segments covering the RFK destruction we witnessed firsthand from the Democrats. This time we're going to hop into Elizabeth Warren's takedown of this clown, so strap in, it gets pretty spicy. Leave us a like on the video, it helps us out a ton, gives us a boost in the algorithm, and let's get right to the video.
This is the same person that less than a month earlier, you stood next to her and described her as unimpeachable. And you had full confidence in her, and that you had full confidence in her scientific credentials. And in a month, she became a liar?
Yeah, you should ask her what changed. And by the way, a month ago, you were voting against her. Oh, because you thought she was either incompetent, ineligible, or unsuited to the task.
I voted against her because I was afraid she was going to bend the knee to you and Donald Trump. And it looks like she didn't bend the knee, so you fired her. Look, you're putting America's babies' health at risk, America's seniors' health at risk, all Americans' health at risk, and you should resign.
And for those who don't know, this is about the CDC director that Kennedy fired because she wouldn't go along with his anti-vax nonsense. Warren cooked him here and used the perfect point to do so. This is the strong argument because it creates unequivocally one of two outcomes that MAGA has to accept. RFK Jr.'s judgment either cannot be trusted because he fully vouched for someone's credibility, specifically his scientific judgment, because he vouched specifically for her scientific credibility and ability, who within a month, now he's saying isn't deserving of any of that. This would, of course, call into question not only the entire department in which he's hired and Trump for picking him to run the department, but also every anti-science claim he's ever made. As what grounds is he making it on if he thought someone was trustworthy scientifically that now he's saying actually isn't? The only other possibility is that Elizabeth Warren and other Democrats were right to be wary of this woman being chosen just for her to bend the knee for Trump and RFK to do this anti-vax nonsense, as that was clearly the plan on their end, because when she didn't do that, they fired her to replace her for someone who would instantly. Literally no other outcome is possible, and both are truly disqualifying.
Second is hepatitis B is on the agenda. So should Americans expect you to take away hepatitis vaccine access as well, even though you promised not to?
As I said, I'm not taking vaccines away from anybody.
Okay, same answer, right? You're just going to deny that when people can't get access, that you're not taking it away. Then let me ask you, is that the same game you're going to play with me?
You want me to recommend every product in the world? No, so that without any clinical trial data.
Through on your promises.
No, many cannot. I believe the count is 16 states in which won't offer it in their CVSs, their pharmacies, Walmarts due to these recommendation changes. And the same can be said for many insurance coverages of it. I mean, the same can be said for 15 million who won't have insurance to cover it, period, anymore because of the big, beautiful bill kicking them off Medicaid, but also insurance, period, covering it since RFK removed the FDA recommendation. It's now not going to be covered by most insurances, meaning millions additionally will lose access just by virtue of being able to unafford it. To pretend that this isn't taking away access to anyone is about as disingenuous as it comes. It's the inevitable outcome, right? And I love how he's like, whoa, I just can't recommend anything without data. Vaccines are the most studied thing on earth, especially medically, right? And the hepatitis vaccine is no different. And we know by and far that they're safe, that it's safe. Like, what's the ivermectin study, right? What is the clinical data on this being beneficial? Yet this guy hawks that with no problem. It's almost like he has a profit motive.
If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like this.
And that is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
The analogy for conservatives that they should be able to latch onto is if liberals made it where your local gun store can no longer sell you like AR-15s or rifles or handguns, and now you have to like jump through all kinds of hoops and you have to pay more to get them, would you say, well, I can still get guns, so they're not infringing on my rights? Or would you say they're taking away my guns? Like, it's pretty clear what you guys would say. And the same is true, but it's actually important this time when it comes to crucial healthcare like vaccines. Again, we should want proven medicine as accessible to as many people for as affordable as possible. Pulling millions off Medicaid makes it less accessible. Removing FDA recommendations makes it less accessible. These things, like any American concerned with public health, should be against. And there's plenty of data on the COVID vaccine. Don't listen to the fake science nerds. It went through the same trial as every other vaccine. This man is talking about double-blind studies. Oh, why are there double-blind studies? Well, it's because they're considered unethical for proven medical treatments, especially things like vaccines. As what a double-blind study is you have you have both the person conducting the study doesn't know, but you have two groups in which one is vaccinated and one isn't. The person conducting the study also isn't going to know which group is which. So you're leaving a group unknowingly unvaccinated, thus less or more susceptible to a deadly virus, less protected against it. Like, we're not going to kill off kids to shut up some convoluted weirdos going against all established science when we already have plenty of data to support the conclusion.